Look at that! Look at that! Hello, love, you okay?
Yeah.
Good.
Go straight.
Hi, mate.
Hello. Good afternoon, guys. What's happening? Hey, Dad, you alright?
Terry from Scalp Tech.
Alright, Terry, you okay?
Yeah.
Where are you?
We're in Bearscope. And we're at Scalp Tech headquarters. Scalp Tech are all over the UK now, as you know. Foremost scalp pigmentation clinic in the UK. They're doing very, very well. Here we are today to get some procedures.
Nice one. Lovely to meet you, Terry.
Yeah,
so we were on the way to one of the shows the other day, and he said to me, "Oh, I feel like I want to get my head topped up." And I was like, "Well, Terry reached out to us ages ago. Like, why not reach back out and see, you know, if we can get something done?" And Terry's kindly invited us down here today. People always comment, "Oh, has Frankie had his head done? Has he had the head tattoo? Blah blah blah." And like, you got it done like way back before most people would get it done.
2014, losing my hair for years, and tried different medicines, the minoxidil regain to try and regrow the hair. Very, very limited success with that. It grew back a tiny bit, but it wasn't the answer. And then I used to use the finasteride, Proscar. I mean, it was taken anyway for me, you know, for me prostate problems, but it did grow the hair back a tiny bit. But as soon as I stopped taking the tablets, it all kind of fell out. And then I was reading about different procedures and a sort of thing on the TV about scalp pigmentation. So I traced the clinic down, went along to this clinic. They knew me, you know, one of the guys there, FrankieAllen, you know, came in, and so I done a little video for them, and they'd done it. So it lasted, I'd say, about 3 or 4 years. Great, fantastic effect, really, really, you know, it was marvellous for me because I felt more confident. But it did fade after 3 or 4 years. I went back for the top up about 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago. Since then, even though I use factor 50 in the sun and things, your skin naturally absorbs things. Is that right, Terry?
Yeah.
So it's faded a great deal now. Now I'm at the stage where it really needs doing again. So,
now, just on that, sorry to interrupt. Now, I am like half picking up the combo, so I'm getting bits here and there, but apparently, so you told me, based on what Terry said, things have gone a little bit, you know, it's more kind of evolved even further now. So what's kind of like the difference between like back then as to now, like 2014?
Yeah, 2014, that was really at the early stages of scalp pigmentation. We didn't really have the techniques, you know, the techniques where we would go closer to the hairline and you get like what me and Frankie have got, where it's basically skin, line.
Okay.
Now the new techniques is where we fade it in and make it more realistic. The new guns, the needles are actually made for SMP, where we were just using tattoo guns and tattoo needles. So the old tattoo needles where you get like what Frankie's got is more of just a shade and no like dots.
Yeah.
Now the new needles and guns, you get more like a follicle and makes it more realistic.
Okay.
Plus, if you look at Frank's at the sides, they haven't blended it down, and that's
yeah,
all
let's show us the sides.
That's all like the new techniques where we can fade it out and...
Well, this is the thing, this is why, to be honest with you, I'll tell you the truth, I'm over the moon that I came to Scalp Tech, and I'll tell you why. For years and years when I was losing my hair, it was, you know, we're all getting older, but I was going grey as well. So I used to use this hair building fibre thing called Topic.
Yeah.
And sweep my hair over. It was shocking really, but it was the only thing I could do. But the sides of my hair were going very white and grey, so I used to dye them all the time. Now with dyeing them all the time over the years, some of the hair fell out, Terry.
Yeah.
And disappeared, especially this side. If I grew it's very patchy. There's a patch here where there's nothing at all. So I had asked and made inquiries, and a lot of people, well, everybody really, not a lot of people, everybody said, oh, it's too difficult, too time consuming, it's not the right thing to do. Just do the top, we don't do the sides. And it doesn't matter how great your coverage is on the top of your head and on your forehead and things, if the sides look as though they're kind of bald or whatever, you look like this bowl effect.
Yeah.
Now, I found out on the internet and today speaking to Terry that this is a procedure that they do here, so I'm going to get on it.
Sound. So, yeah, as I said, very grateful to have been invited down today. If you want to come and get your hair done, come and see Terry at Scalp Tech. Book in, I'll put the links below in the description and all the rest of it. But I think the key thing for people to realise is, like, look, I was the biggest skeptic of this stuff. Like, when my dad originally said to me back in the day, like, I want to go and get my head tattooed, I was like, oh, fuck off, like that's going to look shit. And as soon it was, wasn't I? And he said, come down with me. If you think that it looks okay, then I'll get it done. And like, I'm quite like, you know, you're more...
Will's very sceptical about everything, yeah.
Stuff like that.
What do you think of it now, Will?
So immediately I was like, it looks boss.
What do you think? It looks okay now?
I mean, in comparison to what it was, because I remember my dad used to have this topic on his head and it was just carried and like a big forehead on him and all that, and it's just like a million, like, is yours done with the new stuff?
What happened with mine, I got it done by one of my technicians 5 years ago.
Yeah.
But when you've got like me, a strong hairline like me and Frankie,
yeah.
When I went for the top up down in London about 3 or 4 months ago, it takes a couple of sessions, so I've only had one.
It looks well, yours though.
But mine really needs to be taken off and then the new technique put back.
No, I like yours, Terry.
Yeah.
That's the first thing you said. I wouldn't mind your look. I told you, I think you'll look great, you know.
Yeah.
It's
one to an untamed
you're going to be, you're a technician, you're a practitioner.
Yeah.
So you're an artist, so you're going to be a perfectionist, aren't you?
Yeah. I mean, I think the weird, like, obviously there's going to be a lot of fellas who are just like us that are watching this, and obviously we're not trying to sell it into you and be like, go and get your fucking head done. But at the same time, it's refreshing to be able to like to hear from normal, when I say normal people, like people just like you, what a difference it makes. So like your head was going basically when it was finished.
Oh, it was finished. It was totally finished. You know, she used a Scouse term. I had a monkey's arse at the back of my head. Very, very. Now I can remember. Well, this is like how long ago it was. 30 years ago. I was out with your mum. We were going out on a date, and I'd only seen her a couple of times. And some drunk came over in a bar that we were in Rotney, was a fella Billy, an old man. And one of these fellas that was sitting in front of you wouldn't go, and he went, Frankie's got the same thing, ain't ya? And your mum said, what's that? A monkey's ass. I nearly died.
Do you know what it is? You know when you lose your hair?
Yeah.
And I hope you don't go, because you'll have to go.
I know, yeah.
But when you lose your hair, being like, I lost mine when I was 26, and it wasn't through like genetics. It was taking steroids. I took steroids.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I took steroids, and each time I started losing my hair. And what it is, when you lose it and then you shave it down, because it's socially accepted, people just think, you just got a bald head. But when it happens to you, my God, you feel like there's something wrong with you.
Okay.
It's a horrible thing to go through, isn't it?
Horrible, yeah.
Yeah, it's a horrible thing. I remember some girl said to me, I was in a nightclub, and she said, oh, shut up, you M-head. And I went, what's an M-head? And she went, you're losing your hair there. And I went, I'm not. Anyway, I ran home, looked at it, and I was starting to see it. I was just like, no.
Well, funny enough, I was out one night, been on stage, and you kid yourself that your hair looks okay. And my hair with this topic thing, I used to kind of comb it from there, and it'd take me about an hour fucking about with different sprays, holding sprays, until I thought it looked okay. And I was talking to a girl one night, and she said to me, Frankie, do you want to borrow a comb for your comb over? I said, oh no. And I thought to myself, I never wanted to hear that from anyone.
Yeah.
And I was having a good night, and a lad that was with a couple of mates at the bar, I said, I'm just going to the toilet. And I fucked off home.
Yeah.
Got into bed, and I thought, I've got to do something. Can't go down with the sweep, you know, it's a bad look in it.
Yeah. I think, look, you know, as Terry said, hopefully I don't have to get it done. Don't be fucking coming with me in the comments. But like,
when he was 30.
Oh really? Yeah, 33. So 34 soon. But I think the good thing about it is, one, even if people do know that you've had it done, it's a bit like, so what? Like, it's not like a big deal. It's not like, oh, I've gone to like a huge amount of trouble to like sweep me fucking head over. I've just wanted to make myself look better. Yeah. And the second thing is, it's immediate, innit? So like, you go in, it's like getting a set of teeth or something like that. It's like immediately you're in there one day. I mean,
but what it is, I know a couple of friends of mine who've been to Turkey for transplants. Now, I went for a transplant originally to Manchester, and you've got to be careful. When Joe Clinton, when they looked at the hair, they said it's too weak to transplant, so I couldn't have a transplant anyway.
Me too.
I know people who've been and had mixed results. Some people have had a good result, other people have had a bad result, but you have to wait. Sometimes 12 months, 18 months before you get a good result, and even then sometimes you can get the doll effect where your hair looks like a doll's head. So although they've made great strides, the hair transplants, as far as I'm concerned, it's not the answer. With scalp pigmentation, as long as you've got a reasonably good shaped head, what you can do, you can get an immediate, modern, young looking, clean looking and sexy. You want a sexy look, because I watch on the internet, I go through all surveys of things, men attracted to women, and a bald look where you've got your hair, you know, a bit of hair combed over, no good. A completely bald head, it's kind of like they're okay with that, girls, but if they think that you could grow hair but you choose to have hair like a marine, it's sexy to women, it really is. It's a sexy look.
Thing with SMP as well now, because it's evolved to this now, like what me and Frank have got, like when you see Frank's, and it's going to take about 2 or 3 sessions to get it looking to the new look, but it's literally night and day, it'll blow your socks off. Old school SMP to what it is now is leaps and bounds.
It's changed.
So yeah.
Have the actual needles changed?
Yeah. Needles are basically made for SMP, where when you put the dot in, we're only dropping it into the top layers of the skin here. But where the old tattoo needles were a lot thinner, you're going a lot deeper, and then what you do, you get blood. You know, when you said it was painful.
Is that why you get the redness on your scalp afterwards?
And it bleeds, and when it used to bleed, it used to bring the pigments out, and you used to get a bit of migration, so you used to get bigger spots. That's all changed now. Literally, it's not as painful. The needle just literally drops in and leaves the perfect dot.
Fantastic. So I'm looking forward to this today, and from what I can gather, what I've looked on the internet, obviously they're the Scalp Tech before, but Terry here has won Practitioner of the Year 3 times in the UK, the Scalp Tech. I mean, that's like me, we're winning, whatever, the Academy Award.
So I'm just curious now, I'm just asking this out of curiosity. So Terry, if like, if there's a young lad, or I don't know, middle-aged fella or whatever, and he was like, right, I want to come and get it done, how long does that take, and what's the booking process and them?
So you have to get in touch.
Yeah.
What I'll do, you'll send some photos over.
Yeah.
I'll give you the quote, let you know how much it is. If you're happy with the price, you come in, we have a consultation, and then it usually takes over about 3, 4, maybe 5. What it is, the price, I'll quote them. If it does take more sessions, it's all in with the price anyway.
Got you.
Because everyone's skin's different. You can't just say we're going to do it in 3 sessions, because skin's different on everyone's head.
Yeah.
So it's till it's finished with us.
Belter.
So it's usually about 5 weeks.
And per session, how long does it take?
First session, Frank's more like a top up, and we're doing little alterations, so we don't have to design any hairline. Your first session's usually about 3.5 hours.
Yeah. If
you never had any SMP on your head. But sessions now, 2 hours at the most. That's it.
Okay.
Brilliant.
And is it painful at all?
Not now. Like Frank said, it was painful the last time because they used to use these blunt needles called the 3 micro. Okay. Now the new needles, they're nowhere near as painful.
Got you.
So
you're feeling okay?
More like a 6 and a 7 pain. These
obviously everyone has got to watch me from day one while I'm here today till the finished product. Hopefully after a few sessions it's going to look fantastic. So we're just discussing now. If anyone's thinking of getting it done, watch this very closely, because I've got a few concerns. The concerns are What colour do you recommend, Terry, for me?
Well, it's all one colour. It's just black carbon pigment.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no browns, no reds.
Really?
Yeah, it's only.
I didn't know that.
So it's diluted down to your colour.
Oh, I see.
Because you're still strong. I know it's faded.
Yeah.
But we can't go too dark. And because we're going to be bringing the fade down the sides, it's got to fade out somewhere.
Okay.
So what we're going to do, we space the dots out a little bit more on the top. Soften the hairline and bring it down the sides and then the neck as well. Give you more shape on your profiles, exactly what you want instead.
Well, this is another thing that, as I mentioned earlier on, I'm really kind of over the moon. I've spoken to various people about getting the sides of my hair done, because I used to think, even when this was done, you know, in 2014, looks fantastic, but you know, but you've got hair on the side of your head, and mine was just like skin. Like one of those fucking dogs, you know, that have lost their hair. And I thought,
like a Sharpei.
Like a Sharpei. And I thought, what am I going to do? And sometimes I've gone out and I thought, it'd be great if it looked as though I had hair on either side and it was shaved. And I'm going to get that done. So, over the moon, scalp tech.
Let's get it done. Right. Let's go. Excited. Does it make you funnier as well?
Makes me very funny.
Go ahead.
What it is, people don't realise, I always keep my age as like a secret. I'm not young, but what I want to do, I'm on stage like we were Saturday and Friday at the weekend. I'm picking on people all the time. And one of my things, Terry, if I see anyone with grey hair, I go, not long now, mate. You'll be on your way to Springwood soon. You'll be getting dragged down Queen's Drive in a glass case. They're waiting for you. You're not drinking whiskey, are you? You'll see enough spirits next year. And anyone that's like a bit old, even older than that, if there's anybody old, I go towards the light. Go towards the light. Granddad's beckoning. Go with Granddad.
That's old Frankie not to be telling me any jokes while I be doing that.
No,
you end up with a ponytail tattooed on the back of your
I can't be picking on people, not that are younger than me, but that look younger than me. I can't look like an old man on stage. So it's a little bit of vanity. It's a little bit about wanting to still look reasonably young so that I can relate to people in the crowd, in the audience. That basically most people that come to see my shows, 70% men, few women, but they're all, what would you say, well, 20 to 40, 20 to 50?
25 to 45, yeah.
25 to 45. So even though I don't fall into that category, I've got to make myself look as though I do.
Well, let's see what your head looks like now. Let me go around it.
See where they've only brought it down there, see? See where they've stopped the blend there, so this is all going to be back in where it was and blended out.
Oh,
nice.
fantastic.
Excited?
Very, very excited.
And you got a latte as well.
I had a latte, which is my favourite drink. So today has been like a dream. Found it straight away. I knew where school Mill Lane was. So it's very easy to find. Beautiful place. I've seen a few videos. And that's what I watched. That big guy used to be the doorman with all the tattoos.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He got his done. And great effect. His looks great now. Yeah.
Right, so let's do it.
So what we'll do, just map it out first
Okay.
to get it.
Now what do you reckon, Terry, about my hairline? Does it need to come forward at all? I think, I don't know what you think, the way they've done this hairline, it's kind of like wonky, it's like funny there.
Yeah, because they haven't measured it, you see.
So
see the way just the skin line there. So what we can do, we can come down a little bit more and just soften it up a little bit more and give you your profiles back in again.
Okay.
And then this is the shape of it now. This is what they've done so far. So you've gone up there and it just finishes it there. And you don't get the mirror for you, sure.
Do you reckon Fordy might get this?
No! You'll never get anything done.
See that's the shape of it there.
Yeah.
You see the way it goes up and there's nothing there, look. So it goes there.
Goes back. Yeah. It's fucking ridiculous.
See, but obviously because you've lived with it, you don't see that, do you?
Yeah, but even I know that that's going back about 2 miles.
Yeah. See, and they've missed this out. But what I'm saying now, is we can bring it down a little tiny bit more, fix this, give you a better hairline there, and bring this down and soften it all.
Still have the El Salvador thing going a little bit,
The bigger I put this faded line in, the more it'll be all broken up. But if you still want a little bit of a line, I'll bring it down a little bit and just so you still have that sort of nice look.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're going to fill this, get it nice and even on this side as well, fix these profiles. So what I'm going to do, let me just put your hand on your chin for me. That's it.
Okay.
I'll measure this all out for you. I'm going to get it straight. I'm even going to give you, I'm going to bring it down here so you've got like a little bit of a sidey as well, but you can't do it straight away. But what happens if I bring the blend down straight away, it's going to look like you've got a helmet on. Okay. So what I'll do, I'll bring it down to about here this time, bring it down, and then bring this, and each time bring it down. So it's going to be about 2 to 3 sessions.
Right, I'm gonna go and leave Terry to measure up and get kicking off, and I'll catch you soon. Hopefully when my dad's looking a bit like
younger,
like Justin Bieber, as he says. Like
so
Drake.
are you staying or are you shooting off now?
I'm gonna shoot off soon.
Okay.
And then we'll catch him on the other side. But I'll stay so we can get a bit of footage of the actual stuff.
Okay.
And then
4 to 6 weeks later.
Yes, people, what's happening? It is a cold and bitter morning. Just show you what I mean. Proper autumn vibes. But I'm on my way to Bearscough from Crosby. Got a nice little coffee in my hand, and the reason that I'm going is because I'm going down to meet my dad, because he's finally had his final session of scalp micropigmentation. So my dad's had numerous sessions with him. Obviously I've been seeing my dad at shows and stuff like that, so for me, you know, you can see a big difference, but it's probably not as dramatic as what you're gonna see now, because when I head down, it'll be his final session, and I will be able to show you the stark contrast between, or you'll be able to see the stark contrast between when he first went in for his first session and when he goes in for this session now. So running late, fashionably late, which is a little bit unlike me. Right, see you when I get there. So I'm just outside the door. I've literally just bumped into Terry in the hallway as he was going out for something, and he said that my dad's just about to finish. He said come in and get his live reaction. So I'm gonna knock on the door now. My dad doesn't know that I've arrived yet. So this is the third session that he's had. I'm getting his final reaction, and I wanted to try and get his live reaction because, you know, it's nice for people to be able to see. Well, it might not even fucking react, you never know. But I'm hopefully going to get a decent live reaction from him when Terry shows it him for the first time. So I'm going to knock on now. Let's see what it's saying. Live reaction. So Terry, just fill us in first. You've just finished my dad's, is this the third session?
This is the third one now, yeah. So just literally just finished it off. Took the blend down the sides, just soften the hairline a little bit more. So Frankie hasn't seen it yet. So this is the first time you've seen it after this third one.
Brilliant. Was it painful, Dad?
Not really, not painful at all. Apparently with these new needles they use nowadays, just like a tiny kind of little bit of, not even irritation, you can't really feel it. It's been fantastic, you know. Just dying to see it now. So, what are we going to do?
How long have you been sat here for?
How long would you say?
What we do a little bit of, we do the front.
I've been lying there, upside down, kind of on my back.
Yeah.
Lying on my belly, getting all the back done and everything, and it took a couple of hours, and then I've been on here for another couple of hours.
The hairline now, just softened it up.
Absolutely fantastic. This is the third session. I mean, it was fantastic last week after the second session. We're coming here today, can't wait to see what this is going to look like.
Right,
so,
let's have a look then, go ahead, moment of truth.
And have a look.
Go on.
Go ahead.
Hang on. Fucking hell! Oh my god! Oh no, where's the mirror? Look at that! Look at that! Oh my god, they look about 25. Look at the back. Oh, Terry's fantastic, that mate. Bloody hell.
Big difference.
Oh my god, big difference. That is fantastic, look at that.
Yeah, looks great.
Oh my God, that's absolutely fantastic. And
I mean, what's the
it's
big
just
difference?
This is taken its age, really. Look, let's face it, I'm not being funny. Losing your hair is not very youthful. It's still interpreted by people as being kind of aging. So I look as though, now I research everything. I research everything on YouTube, and they've just done a big survey in the States. A shaven head, which is like mandatory right through all the military in the States, all the soldiers, the army, the navy, the air force, everyone has to have a shaven head. So it's regarded as being a youthful look. Now the survey said that it's on a par with someone with a big head of hair as being attractive to a female, but it's 10% giving you the look of being more dominant and 20% more super confident than anybody who's even got hair. So this is absolutely fantastic for me. I've always had that little bit of a gangster look. This softens me down, it makes me look kind of like, the only thing you say is a lot younger. Yeah. I look a lot younger than it, don't I? I don't look my age, it looks fantastic. And I can't get over it, look at that.
See what Will's just said, what we've done.
Oh my God.
So when Frank came in, we'll show you this before us, this side was a little bit wonky and the line was too straight. It's like, what we say is like the old school SMP. Now this is what we say is the second gen, where we just soften it and bring, what we've done is just brought the fade, so we've got more of a profile now at the sides and faded it out at the sides.
The back done, faded right down to the nape of the neck, about both of the sides done, and really, this is like frames, as you said, frames big face, give me that youthful look. Looks like some kind of, as though you're in the kind of the army or navy or something like that. You're like a Yankee, it's a fantastic look. And it's very, very sexy. It's so easy to look after. All you got to do is shave it yourself at home or use an electric razor. But with regard to being outside, it's undetectable, it looks fantastic, and people love it. You look at you. I've had a lot more respect from people. They treat me differently when they see that I've got a full head of hair than when you were losing it. You're kind of under a cloud, you feel less confident. But as I say, all the big main surveys now are saying 20% more people who've had this look, a shaven head, as though you've actually got a full head of hair, but you choose to shave it. 20% regarded as being super confident, more dominant as a male, especially with the women. And that's what it's all about for all the men out there. You want to be regarded in your profession, in your job or whatever, as someone to look up to, and this does it. This is a miracle, this is fantastic.
The question for me to ask is, obviously you came in and you've had 3 sessions since your original, original scalp micropigmentation that you had back when?
Well, the scalp started in 2014, I had scalp pigmentation. They never done the sides and they never done the back.
No, I'm cooling here for a sec. Okay. So what was I going to say?
I mean, this is the answer to be praised. I always wanted the back doing and the sides. What people don't realise, you lose your hair, at the, on your crown, or it recedes from the front. But also, as you do get older, the sides above your ears and the back of your neck, the hair gets very poor, very weak, very thin. So if there's a way to make it look as though you've got a full head of hair down the sides and the back, I always wanted that. And I've come to Scalp Tech, and Scalp Tech have done it. This is state of the art. This is fantastic. Years ahead of its time.
Show us around your head here.
Look at that. Look at the back of my head. Look at the side.
Yeah, it looks cool.
It's absolutely brilliant. And that side, it's absolutely amazing. No one, even if he got a couple of yards away from me, you'd never think I'd had a procedure done. This is a miracle, it's it's a cure for baldness.
Yeah, so my dad's finished up. He's obviously, you've seen his reaction, he's absolutely over the fucking moon. So we're just chilling here in the back. Teddy's got this nice little comfortable room that we're chilling in. There's Teddy there on his laptop and my dad. So Teddy, just fill us in about your experience with Frankie specifically. So is there often people who come in the same position as him where they've had scalp micropigmentation done before, and it's a little bit, it's not at the level that it could be, or it's a bit old school. I mean, I don't want to be detrimental to the people who did it way back when. It's just a lot of time's passed, hasn't it? Yeah.
Different needles, different guns. So what usually, if someone came in with what Frankie had, we'd remove and change the hairline.
Okay.
With Frankie, he was happy with the sort of straightish line, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I tried to talk to him, he was so we come to...
So what do you mean, just for...
So, a younger hairline where it's a lot straighter.
Yeah.
Now, Frankie had that, but to me, it's fake looking because hair's not like that.
Yeah.
So I had to try and convince Frankie that where his old hairline was, it was a little bit wonky anyway, to try and soften it up a little bit and just make it more realistic.
Yes.
And where the last place he had it done, and no disrespect to him, it's just that he didn't know how to do it at the time, they just stopped it at the top. Now, Frankie was bald completely here and just had a bit of a frame here.
Like a bowl cut.
Yeah. So what we've done, we've brought it down and created more of a profile and blended it out at the neck, and just the whole thing just makes him, and levelled it out and fed it out at the front. The whole thing just looks entirely different.
Yeah, it looks well
better. 10 years younger.
It looks more natural at the front now, but I do like, everyone's got their own preferences. I like that kind of MS-13 street gang kind of thing, Nicky Argument thing, that kind of like thug life.
You didn't want it to look like it was receding, basically.
But it's a young look like that. I don't really like what Terry's saying. There's different styles you can have in the front. I just particularly like this one. But I mean, with regards to the way your appearance, it's got to be, for me anyway, I think realistically, I'd say 25 years it's taken off me. It's unbelievable, it's incredible.
It's the way it makes you feel as well, doesn't it?
Looking. It's so natural looking. I mean, I'll be honest with you, since I've had it done, I feel very different in myself. I feel like I've kind of reinvented myself as a different person. I'm more confident, I'm more kind of like outgoing, I'm more of my stage personality on stage. I feel as though that's me now, as I'm speaking now. I feel very different, as though it's kind of opened me up a little bit more. I mean, when you've got something on your mind constantly, subconsciously, probably I was thinking, I'm a bit bald, but I feel as though I've got a full head of hair. It's 3D. If you look at it, the way it's been done, it looks as though it's just a full head of hair, which you just choose to shave because you like that style. A buzz cut, it's a sexy cut. The women love it. Everywhere I go, people are looking at me now, and I think they're looking at me definitely through different eyes. They're looking at me as though I'm a lot younger than I used to be, or what I used to appear to be. So absolutely fantastic, and I would honestly recommend it to anybody and everybody who's got any concerns about losing hair.
Nice one. So to be honest with you, I'm quite cynical about stuff like this, and when my dad had originally said to me that he was going to get his hair done, way back when, in 2016 or whatever it was, 2014, I was like, nah, no thanks. But it's been fantastic for him. It does look great, and he's come down here to Scalp Tech. Terry's looked after both of us absolutely immaculately, and he's a lovely fella, to be honest. And what you want when you come somewhere like this, I suppose a lot of people will be nervous. You got to feel comfortable, you got to feel at home, and you got to know that you're in the right hands. So you certainly will be here. I don't want to sell it into you, because to be honest with you, it doesn't really need selling in. If you want your hair doing and you're bald and you're worrying about it, and you think it's something that could improve your confidence and improve how you feel about yourself, just fucking go for it. So Terry, we're going to have a link below. How does someone go about it once they click the link? So click the link in the description or above or below this vid, and then what's the process?
Yeah. If you click the link, then we'll get you in. If you go for the procedure, then I'll do a little bit of a deal with you. Maybe a Black Friday deal or whatever. And we'll get you in, and we'll knock 10, 15 years. Won't look as young as Frank.
When you're the best, you want the best. I'm the best comedian in the UK. Terry, he won't tell you because he's quite a modest guy. He's won the Practitioner of the Year across the whole of the UK for scalp pigmentation practitioning. He's won it. Is it 3 times, Terry? He's won it 3 times. So obviously he's the best in the UK. So you only get what you paid for. If you want to look like a movie star, if you want to look as though you're 20 years younger, you want to reinvent yourself, it's not a great deal of money. I will thoroughly recommend it. It's very life-changing. Get your head done here. If you're losing your hair, you'll never regret it.
So I've got a couple of questions to ask Terry, because I know, as a 34-year-old fella, what these lads are going to be asking, right? So the first one is, if I'm a guy who's, you know, a young guy who's lost his hair, and I'm bald, and I'm going, what's going on? First of all, is it going to cost me an arm and a leg? I know it's not going to be a situation where, if we know at the moment how people are with the finances, can that be paid off over a period of time?
Good question. So what we do, it's usually round about, it all depends how much work there is. You know, if you've got a like completely bald at the back kind of thing, it'd be around about £2,000 to £2,500. And what we usually do is take a deposit, and then that can be paid in 4 instalments.
Okay.
If there's any more sessions that do need it after the 4th session, that's all in with the price.
So you quote for the full 4 sessions, you quote for the full finished package basically, and then they're in a position where they pay that off over time, and there's not going to be any like charges sprung on it where you go
all in.
Fucking hell, Teddy, the back of my head needs topping up.
You know, skin's a really difficult thing to work with, and you know, some skin holds, some fades. So, you know, to say that you're only going to do 3 sessions, and then that guy goes and has his 3rd session, and then 3 months down the road it fades. So we know we make sure it's a finished product, and if it does need multiple sessions after that, then so be it.
Okay, perfect. So that's the first question. So I can pay it off over 4 instalments if I want to. So I don't want to be in a position where I'm worrying about that. So from a financial aspect, great. If I am in a position where I've never had a tattoo before, and I'm worried about, oh fucking hell, I've never even had a tattoo in my life, what's the pain going to be like? You know, is there any way that you know, you can describe what the kind of the pain is like, and is I'm a little bit out of my comfort zone here, and I'm going, oh shit, I don't know what it's going to be like. You tell me.
Well, Frank's
I've got a very kind of what's the word? I haven't got a very high pain threshold. I really feel pain. I don't like toothache. I hate any kind of pain. When I came here, I couldn't believe it. I didn't even know he'd started the procedure at first. You just feel kind of a bit of pressure on your scalp. There's no actual pain. It's not a pain where you go, oh, you have to stop, you have to stop. Nothing like that at all. It moves across your scalp. Obviously you can feel it because there's something touching your scalp. It's a needle which injects the, whatever it is, into your scalp, the pigmentation. But no, not painful at all. Anybody's worried about that. I mean, you could always take, if you were that concerned, an hour before, you could always take a couple of ibuprofen or painkillers or whatever, take the edge off it. But the first session, I took a couple of ibuprofen. I thought it's going to be painful. And when I came to the second session a couple of weeks ago, I took nothing at all because there was no pain involved.
Old school. When I first, Frank come in, he said it was a painful, and the old school needles were like a 3 needle that were blunt, and they used to get punched into the skin, which were really painful. Now there's new needles, SMP needles, and the pain's nowhere near as bad. So the only way I can explain it, if Frank says the same, is it's more like an irritable itch. You feel like going, oh, it's like one of them kind of itches. Most guys say it's a 3 out of 10. That's about it,
Okay, so we know what it's going to cost. We know that we can pay it off. We know that the pain's not going to be crazy. The thing that people keep saying to me all the time, and I was telling Teddy this off camera, whenever anyone sees me dad's head, they go, fucking hell, that looks fantastic. I've had it done, or I'm thinking about getting it done, but they don't want it to be a very dramatic change for them, because people like to ease into it. They might say, oh, I've had it done myself, but I've only done it very light. You know, because it's something that is very, well, I'm assuming it's difficult to change. If it was fucked up, if you know what I mean. Then they go like, you know, it's a life-changing thing. So it's like, it's got to be right. Obviously we know it's going to be right with you, but the question is it kind of eased in? So like the first session, it's a little bit lighter, or
so a little bit different the way we do it, because I came into SMP having a bad treatment, so I wanted to tick all the boxes for things that could go wrong. So the way we do it, a lot of other companies do it in 3 sessions. We do it in more like 4 to 5 sessions. We do like the softly approach. So when your first session, you come in, I'll go quite wide with the dot and go 3 shades lighter with the pigments, because I've never worked with your skin before. Everyone's skin's different.
What does that mean when you say you go quite wide with the dot?
So when you're ever putting the dots into skin, you know, you don't want to go too close with the dot and get too much pigment in, because if you do go over someone's shade, then it's quite difficult to change that. So I go quite wide. So after the guy comes back after 7 days, I look at the colour of the dot in the skin, and then what I do then, I go in between the dot then. So I'll leave a gap in between the dots. The second session, I'll go in between it. I don't hit the same dot again. Then, you know, if the dot, the ink does need to be adjusted, then I'll adjust it on the second one. Got straight in, and then that'll settle for 2 weeks, and then you get you back in. And then if I feel like it's faded a little bit more, I'll adjust the pigments again. So it's like softly. And I build it up in layers like this kind of thing.
How long does it take as a process?
Well, there's all different things with SMP. You've got density work. Guys who've had transplants, they haven't had the density they wanted because the hair's put in quite wide. Them guys, you know, they can come in, we can fix that. We put dots in between the hairs, and that gives some really good results. Like you've still got a full head of hair, you're fine. But there's guys who've got maybe the same as you, but you can see the scalps. So what we can do with them, we shave it, and then what we'll do, we can put the treatment in, and then they can grow the hair back as long as we stay behind the hairline.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? So as long as we don't go, if they come in and say, right, I want to change the hairline, I'll say to them, well, you won't have to grow the hair again. Because if you grow the hair, you're going to see where the dots are. Now, as long as we stay behind the hairline, we can give that head, make it look good.
Looks thick.
So there's all different types.
How long does that process take over the period?
So your first and second 7 days, then 2 week intervals for your third and fourth. On your fourth one, we give it a 6 week like settling in process, and then after then, you get you back in again and maybe just fine tune it. So usually the four treatments over 5 weeks, and then we have a little bit of a break, get you back in, and then we double check it all.
Boss.
So yeah, so say 5 weeks, and then you check up.
Do you say to the person, look, it's based on you tailor it to their preferences?
Yeah, a lot of clients come in and they ask for the wrong type of hairline, and the way we do it, we show them beforehand. We put like a cream on first to show them what the face is going to be framed like. And you know, there's guys coming in like 60, 70 years of age, and they're asking for like a lower hairline. And you've got, you know, SMP works really well if you put something in that looks like it's always been there. Do you know what I mean? And that's the way that's what you've got to try and find. Frankie's looks fantastic.
Looks fucking great. So big thanks to Terry from me and from my dad. You know, how do you feel about the results of Frankie's?
Oh, he's got really good skin. He's got that Mediterranean skin. So is Will.
There you go.
So I can't wait for Will to lose his hair. No, he's got really good skin. His hairline, like I say, we've feathered it down. It looks fantastic. It literally does look 20 years younger. Yeah, it looks fantastic.
So Dad, anyone who wants to come to Scalp Tech?
Anyone and everyone does know me. FrankieAllen, UK's most feared comedian. I say it how it is. I'm one of these fellas, don't give a fuck. If I think something funny, I'll say it. I'm very blunt with people. I tell the truth. And believe you me, I wouldn't tell lies. This is fantastic. Any problem with your hair, come to Scalp Tech. You won't regret it. It will be the best thing that's ever happened to you cosmetically in your life. Believe me.
So finally signing off, and I think one more thing to add, like, you know, people might go, fucking hell, you know, I'm not that vain getting my head done. Do you know what I mean? But like, fucking hell, exactly what you've just said then. You know, it's gonna make you feel better about yourself. You know, it's gonna, in terms of how you will feel about yourself is how you want to walk through life, feeling confidence and feeling good about yourself. And if you're worried about what other people think about, oh fucking hell, he's had his head done, tell him to fuck off.
Just say, well, what's it got to do with you? You're nosy, aren't you? Well, I tell you what, mate, I'll go out with my scalp pigmentation with birds falling all over me. You sit in the fucking house with your hair swept from the back of your fucking neck to your eyebrow because you're worried in case some dickhead comes up to you and says, hey mate, have you had your hair done? Fuck off.